welcome to another installment of Dan's gameplay videos, or whatever we're calling these. We're back with another episode of Final Girl, this time using the Nightmare on Elm Street inspired box, Frightmare on Maple Lane, starring as the villain Dr. Fright, who is certainly not in any way Freddy Krueger. Final girl we have is also from this set, Sheila, who has a pretty strong final ability. When discarding action cards, she gets 2 extra time instead of just 1, and saving additional victims after unlocking her final ability also lower the terror level, which is very helpful. Kind of a trade-off. She does need to rescue 6 victims to unlock that. She also has decent health. So again, this is all stuff that came together. The combination of the setting, the villain, and the final girl herself. So nothing out of the ordinary on this particular game, I suppose, but this is an interesting setting, I think. Maple Lane itself has 4 quadrants, as you can see, each with 3 houses on it. And you can search each of those houses for an item. When you do that, that house becomes no longer available. You also have Dr. Fright himself, who has a waking and sleeping mechanic. Basically, when your character is awake, Dr. Fright cannot attack you and you cannot attack him. He can still attack victims, presumably because they fall asleep on their own. You can only do damage to him and vice versa when you're asleep, which certain terror cards will send you to sleep. You can also go to sleep voluntarily by using either the short rest action or the long rest action. As far as special settings, I actually forgot to add the boyfriend to the game. We drew that as the special starting event. He goes here. The setup, Revenge, has Sheila herself starting at the Smallies' house, which is, according to the lore book, her own adoptive family, so that's appropriate. And we also lucked out that her special item, her knife, is in the southwestern quadrant, so we can search her house to get that item right off the bat. As far as her boyfriend goes, during the upkeep, he moves 1 space towards Sheila. The killer will target him rather than the final girl, should he cross paths with him. And if the boyfriend reaches your space, you also lose a little bit of time. I guess you're calming him down if he's panicking or something. We'll call him, let's see, the last boyfriend in the first game was Chip. We'll call this guy Skip. So basically, you want to rescue him as quickly as possible, and thus, after the first turn or so, I'll probably want to start making my way up this way so I can go into his house, get him, and take him to the rescue space. As far as the house mechanic goes, again, to search unoccupied houses, you can just go in and search them. But if there are people in any of these house spaces, you have to use the special action that comes with the Maple Lane setting, Convince, to convince them to let you in and search for something. So it just adds a little bit of extra flavor and what have you to the plot line. So we'll get started anyway. And I'm actually not going to move this first turn because I do want to search my house and grab Sheila's knife as soon as possible. So I think I'll go ahead and use first a focus to try to bring the terror level down a little bit. And that'll work. I lose 1 time. And the terror level goes down by 1. Then I think I will I'll go ahead and use the other focus, why not? Get this down as low as possible, if possible, into the green zone, which we never made it to in the last game. I could discard 2 cards to make it a partial success on that roll, and I'll go ahead and do that. I'll discard Short Rest and Weak Attack. I'll save my 2 walks. So that'll lower that by 1 more. And then I'm going to call it for this first turn. As far as actions to pick up, I have 4 time to work with, so I'll grab a Search, of course. And that'll bring it down to 2, and I will also... Maybe I'll grab both of the Convinces for now. I was going to grab a Sprint, but I have 2 walks. That should be fine for the time being, as far as mobility goes. So, yeah, so that brings it down to 0. We'll bump it back up to 6. The cards we actually expended this turn go into the market. I guess we'll put that there. And then we resolve a terror card. At the moment, by the way, Dr. Fright does not actually have a move icon in his routine. He targets whoever's closest, a victim or the final girl, but he doesn't get a move. And since he doesn't have any victims in his space, he doesn't get to slash anybody at the moment. I said Don't Look Back is our terror card. If there are no exits that have at least 1 victim, discard and draw the next terror card. So I guess that's what we have to do. Never sleep again. I fall asleep. If I was already asleep, I may reset the Boiler Room deck if I wish. If not, resolve 1 additional Boiler Room card at the end of the killer phase. So the fright level goes up by 1. And we indeed fall asleep. So we move this awake card to the bottom of this deck, flip it over. And we have to resolve 2. Now basically you slide this down, and if it shows Dr. Fright in the picture, he attacks you. And there he is. So we get attacked right off the bat. He doesn't need to be on the space to attack you in this dream world. Yeah, he does 1 damage to me at the moment. And that would resolve the killer phase. As we go through the actions, we get to the upkeep phase. The boyfriend moves 2 spaces towards me, so he goes out his door here and then here. So he's waiting in the street, I guess. And I guess that's it. So we're back up at the top of the order. These are the expended cards. Grab the wrong handful. So first I'm going to do Search to try to pick up a knife, so I have something to defend myself with. And we get a success there. So I'll lose 1 time, and I can take the top item of the deck for the southwestern quadrant. So that is Sheila's knife. Gives me an extra die roll when attacking with it, and only Sheila can use the item. Also does 1 extra damage. So put that in one of Sheila's hands here. And we also mark her house as having been searched. You can only get one item from each particular house. Alright, so search is resolved. Yeah, it's time to get out of the house, I think, so we'll use a walk. And we have a success there, so another time. And she can move 1 space, so she'll go here, and there's a victim there. I guess I'll go ahead and use the other walk. Depending on what happens here, I'd like to get to the boyfriend. If I get a double success and can move 2 spaces, I will go there to his space. If I don't, if I only get a single success and can only move 1 space, I'll actually take this victim and go here to at least start rescuing some people. Oh, okay. So we get a double success. I'll actually take this guy with me. And we're on the boyfriend's space. And unfortunately, I also lose a couple extra time on the upkeep phase. because of having the boyfriend on my space. So I'm actually not sure I'm going to be able to buy any items this turn. Yeah, I don't know why I moved that an extra time, so I should be at 3, so I'll go down to 1. I'm actually going to sacrifice one of these convinces this turn just to bump my time up by 1. That way I'll be able to purchase a sprint and have a little bit more mobility for the next turn. So I will do that. This goes down to 2 because of the boyfriend being in my space. I'll take a sprint card and then call it as far as actions go. These will go back to the market space, and I do get my these actions back. Okay, so Dr. Fright is still in the center of the intersection. We are in the dream world, so he can attack and damage me, but he is still at low power. I'm so sleepy. If you are awake, roll a die. We are not awake. We're currently asleep. If you're asleep, resolve a boiler room card, and if I take damage, the fright level goes up. Now, actually, you do have to resolve at least one of these actions during your action phase, and I forgot to do that. So, move that down 1. So this was for the action phase, and we're fine there. And there we go. No attacks there either, so we're good. So the fright level doesn't go up since we didn't take damage, fortunately. Unfortunately, Dr. Fright will target the nearest victim and move 1 space to them. Equally, he has a few spaces to go with, and you can use your discretion in this kind of situation, so I will actually move him away from me. He does not get an attack on this turn, though, so that victim is still alive for the time being, probably not for much longer. Okay, so the boyfriend is already on my space, so we're good there. Back up to the top of the order. We'll roll for, let's do a focus first. And we have a success, so we can lower the horror level by 1. And since we're 1 away from the green zone, I'll do it again. Okay, so I could discard the short rest and the weak attack, and I'm going to go ahead and do that to turn this into a success. So, I'll use another time. This goes down into the green zone, so the good news is for horror rolls while it's in the green zone, I do get an extra die, I should say. And then I'm going to sprint and try to move around a little bit here. I'm going to take the boyfriend and the victim, the other victim that I'm currently with, to the exit space above me first, and then I will probably go into, let's see, I have a convince, so... yeah, let's do this. So we have a double success. We can move up to 3 spaces. I don't think I want to move 3 spaces this turn, actually. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I could move over here. I wouldn't be able to take a 3rd victim with me at this time, but it would put me near them. So, yeah, I'll do that. 1, 2, 3. So, Skip and this other person are rescued. And looking at my spaces on my Final Girl card, I will put one of the save victims on the horror level reduction space, so this goes down 1 more, deeper into the green zone. And I will also, I'll do them, I don't know if I want to do the move 1 space, I'll do the 2 extra time one for Skip there. So 6, I'm back up 2. And we'll grab some actions. I'll grab 2 searches, which is 4. And I'll grab, I guess I'll grab the other, I discard 1 sprint. I'll grab the other sprint. And then, of course, I get my 0 cost actions back. Okay. So far so good on this game. So these get discarded. The boyfriend card gets discarded as well, since he left play. And I also have to resolve the final one of the boiler room cards. So, unfortunately... So, I think I will slide this to the left. Ah, there he is. I get another attack. Again, fortunately, he hasn't actually killed anybody yet, so his attack level, his attack power, rather, is still pretty low. Yeah. We're back at the top of the order. Now I think I might have kind of messed up the boiler room cards on that turn, incidentally, but that's okay. So, back up to the top of the order. I think at this point I will use the convince card here to see if I can go into this house and get, let's see what's in the southeast. Another weapon, a pitchfork. Yeah, it can help discard a single attack, so we'll do that. Where'd I put my dice? There they are. So I still get 3 die rolls. And double success, so I can enter an adjacent occupied house. For a double success, I don't lose any time, so that's nice. So the convince card is discarded. I'll then search to see if I can pick up an item. Dice on the floor doesn't count. And that is a complete fail. Wow. I could, at the expense of 2 terror level increases, I could at the cost of 2 increases to the terror level, I could take an item. I don't really want to do that. I would also lose 2 time. So I'm just going to count it as a fail. The terror level goes up by 1 in that case, and I still lose 1 time. So I'll try to use the other search card I have. I wanted to have more than 1, but okay, well that's more like it. So lose 1 time and take the top item. So I'll grab that pitchfork and put it in my backpack. And I'll use a walk and see if I can take the victim from this house to the exit. Yeah, I'll call that a fail also. It's funny, I'm rolling worse with 3 dice than I was with 2. So she gets dinged for a health also. I'll try the other walk. I'll hang on to the sprint. Okay, that's more like it. Okay, so I'll move here. This person gets rescued. And then I'll actually move here. So I'll put this, I've lost a few health here, so I'll put that on the space that gains me 2 health back. Alright, so that turn could have gone a little bit better, but what are you gonna do, I guess? Alright, so looking at my options, I'm just gonna hang on to the cards I have left. So I have to resolve the final boiler room card here. I'll slide this across and I take another attack. Damn it. I didn't do too well on those. The good news is I do wake up at this point. So Dr. Fright, if I cross paths with him physically, will not be able to harm me there at least. So we'll shuffle these up and okay, so market time. Take back my zero cost actions. I have 2 time to work with. Yeah, I'll grab a guard just in case I need it at some point. Okay, so Dr. Fright kills the victim in his space as his turn begins. First victim we've lost, so that's pretty good. Sorry, I forgot to put my cards back in the market. I also forgot to mark this house as having been searched. So yeah, Dr. Fright kills the victim in his space. His bloodlust goes up by 1, which raises the fright level just high enough that I no longer have the extra die roll. Then we'll do a terror card. We're all gonna die. Okay. Dr. Fright moves and attacks twice. Fortunately, he still only gets 1 movement per boot icon and 1 attack or 1 damage per knife icon. Bad news is here, if no victims end up being killed, the terror level goes up by 2. So we'll see what happens. So he's targeting the nearest victim, which I guess would probably be, yeah, that would be in this space. So I was hoping it would be that one, so he only would get 1, but yeah, he kills both people in this house. So the bloodlust level rather goes up by 2 anyway. And unfortunately that means he now moves and attacks, or gets 2 damage and 2 movement spaces per turn. Yeah, that'll make things a little tricky. Alright, so fortunately you can't actually damage me at this point, outside of if I fall asleep again. Focus to try to bring the terror level down. And that's a partial success, so do that. I'll do the other focus, might as well. Try to get it back in the green zone. So I'll discard 2 cards to accomplish that. And then I'll use a walk to try to rescue the person that's with me at the moment. Yeah, I'll go ahead and move at the cost of 1 health. So this goes here, and I think I don't have a search. I think I'll still go to I'll take the one that lets me take the improvised space. That'll give me some dice mitigation. So yeah. Oh, and I got my other dice back. Actually, I won't bother re-rolling that last one. Okay, so the walk gets discarded for get my other walk back. I have 4 to work with. These shouldn't go back in the market yet, so I'll grab 2 searches, I think, for my 4 time. Alright, Dr. Fright is up. And he still doesn't get a movement, fortunately. He unlocks this dark power the next time his bloodlust goes up. So we go to a terror card, as he has nobody to slash at in his space currently. But if this is all a dream, then I can, if you are awake, immediately discard this card and resolve the next terror card. So I guess that's what we're doing. Frankie's coming for you. If there are no victims on the board, discard this. Okay, so Dr. Fright moves 1 space towards the nearest victim, so I guess he just goes back out into the street here. If Dr. Fright is in a space with at least 1 victim, the terror level goes up. Of course it does. It goes up twice if there's a victim in his space, so that's not the case, so it does only go up by 1 at least, losing me my extra dice. Okay, so I think we're back at the top of the order for all intents and purposes here. So I'm gonna try to walk into the house above the space I'm in and search that, and I can do that. So there's the walk resolved, and then I'm gonna search to take whatever item is there. I think that is, yeah, that's the machete, so another good weapon. And actually a one-handed weapon as well, so Sheila can actually hold that with her knife in the other hand, and that's not a great roll. Yeah, I'll discard the guard and I guess the sprint. I don't really want to do that, but that'll turn it into a partial success. So I will take the machete here, put that in her, maybe she's holding like the machete in her, I assume she's, well actually her miniature has her holding the crucifix in her left hand. So yeah, we'll assume her right hand is dominant, so she has the machete in her right hand, her knife kind of like a main gouge in her left hand. So that's kind of badass, actually. She also has that pitchfork in reserve. So this house gets a searched icon. And what else can I do this turn? So that search is resolved. I have another search, but I can't move anywhere to use it. So yeah, that ends that turn. So for purchasing, let's see, did I... Yeah, I needed to lose one more time. Sorry. So I have 4. Take the 0 cost actions. And I'll take the other sprint. So I'll have 2 of them to work with, I think. I guess I don't. Yeah, that's right. I discarded the other sprint. So that goes down to 2, and I'll grab the other 2 convinces also. I think next I'm going to try to make my way down to this end of the street, grab these people, search their house while I'm there, and then move them to an exit, and that will actually complete my final girl card, so I can turn it over and unlock her ultimate ability. Alright, so Dr. Fright is up. Solve our terror card. Did you hear what happened on Maple Lane? 2 events and then we draw the next terror card. That's fantastic. What is going on over there? Place 1 new victim on each exit space. That's actually kind of helpful. So... Okay, and a second event, the Smallies. That's actually my character's adoptive parents, according to the lore book. So, a killer on the loose must be Maple Lane Gossip, unless you don't think. Place 2 special victims in the Smallies' house. Each time one of them is killed, the the bloodlust level for Dr. Fright goes up by an extra point. Yeah, so I really want to get down to that other end of the street now and rescue Mom and Dad before Dr. Fright gets to them. I forgot to put these back in the market. Oh, and then we actually were supposed to draw another terror card. Grab your crucifix. If you have a crucifix, you may discard it to ignore the rest of the card. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So Dr. Fright gets 2 moves, targeting the nearest victim. Now, the good news for my parents is that their space actually doesn't connect to the space Dr. Fright is in, so he is gonna wipe out this person who just showed up at the end of the street. That unlocks his dark power here. Pitchfork Assault. Each time he damages me, the horror level goes up. That's not good, but it's manageable, at least. Then it looks like he goes into this house and wipes out this person as well. Alright, so fortunately I have a lot of cards to work with here for this turn. First I'll use a focus. Get calm, cool, and collected here. Alright, so we were back up to 6, down to 5. And the tower level goes down, so I get my extra die roll back. As I mess up all of the cards with my dice tray there. That gets discarded. Okay, so I think I will use a sprint to try to start making my way down the street. Oof, that's not good. So I could discard 4 cards to try to make it down there. I don't know if I want to do, well, 1, 2, yeah, I guess I could. I'll discard weak attack, the other focus, a short rest, and 1 more. I guess one of the convinces I can sacrifice at this point. So yeah, I'll turn that into a double success. So I'll go 1 here. We'll rescue this person in the process. And I'll move 1 extra space by putting that victim on my final girl card on that space. So I can still move 3. So 1, 2, 3. And that resolves the sprint at a high cost. Then I'll use, so I think I'll use Improvise to make sure that my die rolls are good for getting into Mom and Dad there. So for the next horror roll, only all my 3s and 4s are successes. So now we'll use Convince. Dice on the floor again. Okay, double success. So we can go into the house here with parents. And unfortunately, I already took the item from my house, so I can't get another item that way. Then I think I will walk and see if I can get Mom and Dad to the exit space. So do walk, and I can move 1 space. So at least on the next turn, I hopefully will be able to rescue them. Alright, so Dr. Fright's turn. Oh my god, he's slicing off his own fingers. Ooh, remember that in, was that Nightmare on Elm Street 1 or 2? I think it was 1. So Dr. Fright gets 2 movements, meaning he actually moves, oh boy, 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, so he's not attacking, fortunately. He takes 1 damage from cutting his own fingers off in this horrific demonstration. And if he takes damage, the horror level goes up by 3. Wow. So we're back where we started that, as far as the horror level goes. And me and all victims in his space panic. So parents and myself all get a panic roll. So okay, so this is for myself. I got 3, so I go to the intersection. This is for, I assume the orange one is Dad, maybe? He gets 6, so he actually goes to an exit space. That's good. Oh no, sorry, I think I actually had that backwards. Let me start that whole thing again. Sorry. I always kind of mix up which numbers correspond to the space you're in. So I go 5. So I go to the intersection anyway. For Dad, he gets 3, so he actually goes back into the house. Mom gets 2, so she goes to the exit space. So if I run this way, I can save Mom and the rando that's already on the exit space. That'll complete my card and lower the horror level a little bit. For now, I lose my extra dice, of course. Okay, and unfortunately there's only 1 terror card left. Meaning the ultimate ability of Dr. Fright will unlock after this next turn. So, as far as the... I guess I didn't do the market space, did I? We'll assume that we'll assume that this is taking place before that terror phase. So I have 5 to work with. I'll grab a close call for 1, a guard for 2, and a sprint for 2. I guess that goes back up. These used cards go away. So the good news is I have some decent weapons, but my health is getting a little bit low. So I don't know if I'm really ready to start taking the fight to Dr. Fright just yet. We'll see. For this turn, I'm going to sprint first and foremost to that exit space and see if I can save Mom and random person at the end of the road. And of course, that is a fail. I'll use the close call to re-roll one of these. And that didn't make it any better. I'll sacrifice a walk and a guard, I guess, to be able to move 2 spaces at the cost of 1 time. So 1, 2. I get to the end of the road. These 2 get saved. So we'll put Mom here on the final space to unlock. I get the long rest card for free. And this gets flipped over. So when discarding action cards, I get 2 time instead of 1, and for each additional victim saved, the horror level goes down by 1. So random person got saved, so that went down by 1. And I have a sprint and a walk left. I'm gonna try to, actually I'll just do the walk and go into that unoccupied house. Well, that being said, the crucifix would be handy. We don't know what the item in the house below me is. I'll use a convince. No, and I don't have a convince, so I'll try to walk into the house below me and take an unknown item from it. Or not. Alright. So, I think that's the end of that turn. As far as purchasing goes, I have 3 time left to work with. I'll grab the sprint, grab my free actions, and that gives me 1. I will take a convince. Okay. Alright, so Dr. Fright is up. Draw the final terror card here. Ew, he's disgusting. The terror level goes up by 2, which is not good. And unfortunately, as we get to the upkeep phase, we now reveal his finale, since that is where it's checked. Time to die. During upkeep, if you are awake, lose 2 health, and I fall asleep. Well, fortunately, that happens during the next upkeep. So, yeah, let's see if Sheila can still pull this off. Alright, so as my turn comes up, I'm going to focus and see if I can... No, lose 2 time. Come on, get it together, girl. Okay, so second focus, we lose 1 time, and the horror level goes down a little bit. Then I'm going to, I think, use the long rest card that I got for free and try to get some health back here. That will also put me to sleep. Oof. Alright, I'll discard a short rest and a weak attack to be able to gain back 2 health. Sorry, 3 health that was, wasn't it? Yeah. Which is actually fine because that puts Sheila back up to her maximum health anyway. Okay, so I will then use a convince to try to go into that house above me. Okay, so I can go in. I'll use a search to see if I can get, I guess it would be the crucifix. Yeah, I'll have to sacrifice a walk and a sprint to get it, but I'll get it anyway. And that puts me to the end of my time, so I don't get any, yeah, I don't get to buy anything this turn. I do get a walk back at least. Yeah, I also have to resolve the awake asleep thing. And on the back of the cards, sorry. Got excited that there wasn't going to be Dr. Fright there, but there he is. Alright, so he hits me for 2. Alright. So for his phase, he moves targeting me. He moves 1 and 2, and then attacks for 2, unfortunately. So I'm going to need to get away from him. Oh, and the horror level goes up because he damaged me. So I have that 1 sprint left. I forgot to do the market again. Darn. Doing good on this game. Yeah, I can't buy anything, unfortunately. So I get a walk back. I have a walk and a sprint. Alright, so I'm going to need to try to create some distance. He can still damage me in the boiler room, but at least not, where he is now, has the upkeep of the last turn. I think I will... Yeah, I think I'll swap the crucifix into my hand, along with the machete. Okay, so I have a walk and a sprint to use this turn, and I'm going to use both of them. Okay, so we can move up to 1 space. I'll take this victim with me and save them, so my time goes down by 1 and then back up by 2. Then nothing for the sprint. So I'll actually use the first option there. I'll lose a health, unfortunately, and I'll still be able to move 1 space and lose 2 time with the penalty of my turn ending completely. Alright, so these are out. I'll resolve the boiler room. Ah, damn it, there he is. And I'm on my last health, so this could be it. We'll see what happens. Oh, I come back to life with a plot twist. With 2 extra health, I do switch this to the one of the white heart icons, which I have to find here. Sorry. Alright, so I am in trouble here. Sorry, the white heart icons are in, they found their way into the Camp Happy Trails box. Alright, so yeah, I'm in a bit of a sticky spot here, to say the least. I have 5 time to purchase things with. I do get all of my 0 cost actions. See, how much health does Dr. Fright have? 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't quite have enough to get the critical blow, so I could buy a Furious Strike and a Close Call, I guess. Okay, so for his turn, he moves 2 spaces. I think this might be it for Sheila here. He gets 2 attacks, and yeah, that's the end. So, we put up a decent fight at least. Not the ending I was hoping for, but well, there's always next time. We can try it again with Sheila, or we could try a different final girl. Yeah, that's how the game goes sometimes, I guess. We'll see you next time, anyway.